All right, I graduate tomorrow, and there's three mental models that I'm gonna take with me for the rest of my life. All right, the first one is simply just compounding. What compounding is putting small amounts of effort in every single day. It's kind of like investing, as you know, investing monthly, like in the index funds and S&P 500. I'll basically be putting actions every day. For example, if I wanted to learn how to code better, I would code every day for a certain amount of time. What really matters here isn't about how much work I put in, it's about showing up every single day instead of just skipping out. And there's also this rule that I'm going to be following with that. It's that I'm never going to skip a habit for more than 2 days. Because if you skip a habit for more than 2 days, that's where you begin to lose it and you begin not to want to do it every day. So compounding, there's a couple of different ways I'm gonna do this. First is going to be with investing, and then the second is going to be with skill building. For skills, I'm going to be learning, like I said, I'm be learning programming, and another thing is I'm going to be reading a lot. Reading is because the knowledge that I learned in these books is going to compound over time. So every day I'm consuming new information instead of, let's just say, because a lot of people they graduate, or as soon as they stop going to school they stop reading. So imagine how much stuff that you aren't learning simply because you're not reading books. Like, for example, we have this book right here, The Six Disciplines of Strategic Thinking. By looking at books like these and reading them, I could learn new concepts that can push me further in life. And I'm not just talking about reading self-help books, I'm talking about all kind of books in general that will, the knowledge I gain from these, compound over time. And for skill building, yeah, like I said, programming. Now, compounding, I feel like it matters in all aspects of life. Like working out. Working out is a huge one because if you work out for 2 to 3 days, you're probably not going to see like not 1 inch of progress. Well, you might be able to lift like what 2 more pounds on bench, but that's really not that much. It's really just about coming up and showing up every single day, and that's efficiently like that's how compounding works. You just show up every day and put in a little amount of effort each time instead of just not showing up at all. Now, the second mental model that I'm going to be using is inversion. Inversion is basically you're doing a task, right? Let's say you want to study for a big test, or you have a big interview coming up, or you have a call coming up with somebody and you need to know some facts and you want to get everything right. So instead of thinking, what can I do right and how can I succeed, you think, what can I do to absolutely fail? What can you do to absolutely fail? Yes. You don't think about the success, you think about the possibilities of failure. Like, here, let's use working out as an example again. When you first start working out, a lot of people tend to just think about the end result. Like, I'm gonna have a six pack, I'm gonna have big shoulders, I'm gonna have this. Instead, you would think about what actions you can do that will absolutely make that not possible, such as eating whatever you want, not showing up to the gym, and you try to do everything in your power to do the opposite of that. Now, a way I'm gonna incorporate this into my life is simply by, you know, like instead of doom scrolling, right? Because like I said, I want to gain more knowledge every day and learn more, even though I'm still out of school. So what I'm gonna do is actually, instead of just doom scrolling on my phone, I'm probably gonna pick up a book, or I can watch an informational YouTube video like this. Or there's a lot more stuff out there that I could be doing that's a lot more productive and help me reach my goals. Like, I could be learning a new skill. Like I said with programming, bring that up again. I could be programming instead of doom scrolling. So yeah, just doing the opposite of no, just thinking about the opposite about what would make you not reach that goal and not doing that. So for my last mental model that I'll be using in my life, that is leverage. So a way we could think about this is putting the right amount of effort into the right things. Kind of like the 80-20 rule. 20% of your effort goes to a certain place. Like, let's say I'm studying for a big exam, right? And there's a whole like syllabus of what to go over, like glossary, what you have to do. Like, you have to know this concept, you have to know that concept, you have to know that one. Instead of studying all of them, I just go over the ones that I don't know, because that's where the huge difference is. Like, let's say multiply. Most of us, I'd say, know our basic multiples, know how to multiply like 5 times 5. We wouldn't study that. We would study things that we actually didn't know, like those new concepts that we're introduced to that we like sadly don't know how to do anymore. We would do those instead of just studying the stuff we already know on instinct. Like if you can just write something down easily without having to look at your notes, without having to scroll back, I'd say don't study that. Instead, what you would study is the stuff you don't know and focus on that portion instead. So you'll see bigger results in that area. So your other score might go down a little bit, but overall it affects it way more. And that's what I'm really going to be doing because in life, I realize there's going to be a lot to learn, and I can't just try to learn everything. I have to try to learn what's going to be essential, what I need, not just whatever this whole book says. Like for example, when reading books, you don't have to read the entire book. This I learned this from my internship I had this school year. You don't have to read the entire book. You go to the chapters you want and you take the key information from that. You don't just start reading the whole entire book that details the history. Realistically, we don't need to know all that. We're kind of reading these books to get the essential information that we need, not this whole life story, not this guy's entire background, not his past. We're worried about what we want to get out of this book and make the most of that. We read deeply and question the common concepts. And yeah, that's pretty much how you use leverage. And those are the three things I'm going to be taking with me for the rest of my life.